The following video has been brought to you by RYN Studios. Release your nerd. Hello everyone, my name is the King of Clubs and welcome to another episode of List It. In this episode, I'm going to be counting down the top 10 most notorious serial killers in American history. Let's go ahead and get the countdown started with our first serial killer at number 10, the Zodiac Killer. Now, the Zodiac Killer is unique because it's the only killer on this list that was never actually captured. There were some suspects, and there actually was some people that fit the profile very closely, but no one actually was arrested or convicted for the crimes. The Zodiac had 5 confirmed murders, 20 to 28 possible murders, but in his taunting letter to the police, he claimed to have killed 37 people. Moving on to number 9 is Albert Fish. Albert Fish was notorious for killing mostly small children. The last one was a little girl that he wrote a taunting letter to her parents claiming what he'd done. He killed between 6 to 10 or possibly more children. Moving on to number 8 is Ed Gein. Now, Ed Gein has probably killed the fewest actual murders in this countdown. There's only 2 known murders that he committed. However, he had dug up and used the corpses of several other victims. So he was known for grave robbing and defiling corpse, using their body parts to make furniture, lampshades, all types of really gruesome and graphic things. In fact, he was actually the inspiration for Leatherface, Norman Bates, and for Buffalo Bill. So his crimes are so infamous that actually inspired horror movie characters. Alright, moving on to number 7 is Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer committed up to 17 murders. Actually all of them, were young gay males. He himself was a homosexual, and that's how he found his victims, is he would lure them in bars, take them back to his apartment, and then murder them there. Alright, moving on to number 6 is Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. He is probably the most prolific killer on this countdown. He killed 49 victims, confessed to 71, but there's a possibility of over 90 bodies that could be considered his victims. So moving on to number 5 is Eileen Wuornos. Eileen Wuornos is the picture of crazy. At least that's what I like to refer to her as, because she is the one out of all the serial killers on this list that has the most psychotic looking photographs taken of her. She killed 7 men. Most of them were truck drivers or men who were alone on the road. She would prostitute herself to them, get them to pull over, give her rides to where she needed to, have sex with them, and then murder them and claim that they tried to rape her. Yep, definition of crazy right there. Moving on to number 4 is Richard Ramirez. Known as the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez killed 14 people. Notorious for being a creature of habit, always sneaking around and attacking at night. Because of his attacks, there was curfews enforced. A lot of women were afraid to live alone. He was just a generally creepy person who fed off attention. When people in the media were demonizing him and making him seem like the devil incarnate, he took to that and played off of it. He actually drew an upside down pentagram on his palm and started claiming that he was the devil or a demon. Moving on to number 3 now is H.H. Holmes. I believe the first actual recorded serial killer in American history. H.H. Holmes killed 9 confirmed victims, confessed to 27, but there's a possibility of 200 victims under his reign of terror. Now, the way he killed his victims is he had what's referred to as the murder house or the murder hotel. It was a very large building where he would use to lure people in under the pretense that they could stay there during the World Expo being held in Chicago. What he would do with them is he would lure them into this hotel, which was full of death traps, dead ends, and all types of horrendous torture devices, and he would use those means to watch and kill his victims. Alright, moving on to number 2 is John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy is a convicted child killer, most of them being young boys, about the ages of 12 to 13, I believe. Though he claims that he was not homosexual, there was evidence of sexual assault on most, if not all, of his victims. He's believed to have killed anywhere from 33 to possibly 35 young boys. Alright, moving into number 1 on the countdown is Ted Bundy. Probably one of the scariest killers, not so much for a grim appearance or ruthless nature, but because of the fact that he was someone that people did not expect. He was young, he was good looking, he was very charming, and that's actually how he got into the situations that allowed him to kill the 30 to 36 plus women that he killed. He would usually charm his way into their vehicles at night, claiming to be like a police officer or somebody else, college student perhaps, and he would lure them into a secluded area and murder them. He was actually so intelligent, so crafty, that he actually escaped from prison at least once, I believe actually twice, and hid out and then started his killing spree again. He is considered in my book to be the most notorious because a lot of people think of serial killers, and that's the first name that I think of is Ted Bundy. Mainly because just of how easy it was for him to manipulate people, and the only difference was that all of his charm and all the things that was working so well for him turned out to backfire whenever he went to represent himself as his own lawyer, because then you start seeing him break down. There's actually a ton of pictures of him making these infamous faces, which are turning the charming and good-looking side of him into this horrendous monster that he actually turned out to be. Alright, so that's all the time I have for this countdown here. Be sure to stay tuned to this channel. I do have an update here with a vlog called the State of the Channel Address, kind of a slight play off of the State of the Union address that the government tends to give. Just kind of giving you guys an update on what's going to happen with my channel. That's going to be uploaded here very shortly after this video gets done. So check that out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos. Like, favorite, share this video, leave comments what you guys think. If there's a serial killer that you think I should have had on the list that didn't make it, let me know what you think. I'll be happy to look into that one, and if there's a lot of demand, I might even do a second one. Maybe incorporate some from around the world as opposed to just the United States. Now, if there, let's see. Also, check out my social media. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat now. I have that as well. All the links and stuff will be in the description below. And you guys have yourself a nice day.